Today's Veracity tutorial is on incoming call options, including cell phone integration. We'll be covering anonymous call rejection, the various call forwarding options, do not disturb, selective call acceptance or selective call rejection, sequential ringing, and for the cell phone integration options, there's 4 of them. The first and most simple one is simultaneous ringing. The other ones are BroadWorks Anywhere, BroadWorks Mobility, and Remote Office. So let's start by going to hosted.veracitynetworks.com, where we'll log in, and we'll pull up just a random user by doing a blank search, and we'll go with Agent 1 here. And once you get into a user's profile, you go to this left sidebar, and all of these options are either in call control or incoming calls. So inside the incoming calls, we've got the anonymous rejection right here as the first one. There's other options over here that depend on whether or not you've got a high enough service pack, because they're the advanced options. So the options you have over here on the right will vary depending on your service pack. So we'll start with anonymous rejection. It's simple enough. You turn it on, you apply it, and anonymous calls will get rejected so that you don't have to be harassed by cold call sales or predators or whatever else. We've also got several call forwarding options. You can set it to call forward always, meaning every single call all times will go to either an extension number or a full phone number, and you just apply it. And there's call forwarding busy, which only happens if you're busy on a call, it'll call forward. You can have it, typically it would go to your own voicemail, but you could also use *55 and an extension number to send it to somebody else's voicemail if you needed to. The *55 tells the system to go to a voicemail, and then you follow that with the extension number so it knows which extension to send it to voicemail. We've got call forwarding no answer. On this one, if you turn it on, you can set it to forward to somebody else after however many rings that you might want. It will go automatically to your voicemail if you don't answer, unless you set this up, in which case it might go to an assistant or a coworker or a different mailbox. And you set that up here. And call forwarding not reachable. That's where you're just totally offline, or maybe if you had a power outage, it's just like the others. You just turn it on and you specify where you want those calls to go. And another incoming call option is do not disturb. You can typically, if you're on a Polycom phone, there's usually a button there, a little D&D button to turn off, or stop all calls from coming to you. But be extra sure to turn around and put that back on, because otherwise your calls aren't going to make it. We get support calls all the time where they're saying, you're losing all our calls, or they're going to voicemail and we don't want that. And we go in and look and they've got the do not disturb turned on and they've just forgotten to reactivate it. Another good one is selective acceptance. You can set it so only certain calls come through to you, or you can set it so that they don't come through. Here's an example of one where you're only taking calls from the boss. So it's got set to accept call or do not accept the call. You can put it on a schedule, or you can just leave it for 24/7. And you can specify that any phone number happens or just specific phone numbers. So in this case, it's set to only take calls from extension 100 or from the boss at 1, 2, 3, 4 there. Very similar to that is selective rejection. It's really kind of the same thing. You can, for instance, if you got a coworker that's being harassed by a stalker, you can just set it to reject all calls coming from this particular phone number. And again, you can set that on a schedule if you wanted to. Sequential ring's a good one. This is one where it hits your base number first, and after however many rings, if you haven't picked up, it'll go to an extension, a full phone number, a voicemail. You can set for the number of rings for each of them. So you might have to go to a coworker or a more general help desk or wherever you want it to, and you can set those for up to 5 of them. And you can set these with rules. If you click the add button, you can do a rule. For instance, I've got a closed hour rule saying do not use sequential ring if you call during my closed schedule from any phone number. Now, the topic of scheduling is a separate tutorial. I definitely recommend it, because if you come in here and it's all you have is all day, every day, that's because you haven't done a custom schedule. And the last incoming calls option in this section is simultaneous ring, which I use myself. It's one you can use to integrate your cell phone so that when somebody calls your business line, it rings to your cell phone simultaneously. You can decide whether or not you want to ring out the other number if you're already on a call. You can have answer confirmation where you have to do a one-day answer it or not. This is where you would set your cell phone. It could be a hotel room, a temporary office, your home office. It could be multiple numbers for that matter. And you can set it to have different rules by clicking the add button. The work hours rule, for instance, on this one, I've got it set to use simultaneous ring if it's during Agent 1's schedule from any phone number, where you can specify specific numbers. And that's a good one for, as I said, getting your calls on your cell phone. If you're a road warrior, for instance, this is a great solution. But there's a couple other options in call control in the left sidebar, depending on if you have these or not, because these are advanced options. There's BroadWorks Anywhere, where you can set it to simultaneously ring your cell phone if you wanted to. Like on this example one, we clicked add. You set for this number, let's say that's my cell phone number. There's some options down here like answer confirmation, call control services, diversion inhibitor. A lot of people don't use that stuff. It's kind of esoteric, I guess. But you can go in here to this tab, the selective criteria tab, and you can use the add button to set a rule. Don't call me at home is what I call this rule. It's set to do not use BroadWorks Anywhere during my closed schedule from any phone number. Very similar to simultaneous ring. Another option in call control is BroadWorks Mobility. This is a good and a bad option. It's good because you can set it to ring either your mobile phone, your fixed phone, your phone device on your desk, or your mobile phone, or both. And you set it for a mobile phone number that you have to register with us so we can put it on the back ends, and then it will be in your drop down. And the thing is on this one is that you can't add rules to it to have only occur during like your work schedule or different hours like that. So the best bet a lot of times if you want to be hooked up to a schedule is to not use this one and then just go to your phone device and just turn the volume all the way off, and that'll take care of that problem for you. Because if you're a road warrior and you're sitting around a bunch of other people, they're not going to want to listen to your phone ringing all day when you're not there to answer it. This can be an option for that. And our last option is called Remote Office. And yes, I realize we got 4 different mobility options that seem awfully alike. They came up in different parts of the system and they're still there for legacy reasons. This is probably the simplest one. You turn it off or on, you put the extension number or the full phone number and apply it. And you can't do rules with this one, so you can't set it to a schedule. And those are our incoming calling options, including cell phone integration. If you need any customer service support, you can reach us 24/7 at 801-379-3000 or 1-800-213-1315, or by email to csgroup@veracitynetworks.com. So have a nice day.